FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
And what's up, Indubians? It's T. Sterling Watson here with your Oscars prediction special. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I decided I'm going to do it, and this time I'm going to do a solo. So hopefully that's okay with all of y'all. But yeah, I figured I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. I may not necessarily read all of the nominations, but just do my predictions. And then if I have any additional notes, then, I will, note them. So we're just going to go ahead and start with, oh, by the way, these predictions are just who I think will win. Not necessarily who I want to win, but who I think will win. And I'm kind of basing this off of research I've done by what the film has won so far. Now, it should be noted that I'm making these predictions pretty much a week before the Oscars actually are announced. So this is being recorded, like I said, a week before, but it's probably not going to go out until sometime in the middle of the week. But we'll see. We'll see how I do. And we'll just start out based on the list that's at Oscars.org of all the nominees. And I'm going in that order. So it's maybe not going to go in the order of the film, but let's just get into it. First one is the actor in a leading role. I have chosen and gone with Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Now, I feel like that's a bit of a no-brainer there, but hey, he did an amazing job. And if it wasn't going to be him, I would want to say Riz Ahmed in Sound of Metal. Although I have not seen it, I've heard a lot of great things. And I'm pretty sure everyone has, done a great job in this category. But let's move on, because I don't want to, hang out in this one category. And I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to count out loud for you guys about 23 categories. And I don't want to just hang around for them for too long unless I absolutely need to. Moving on, supporting actor Daniel Kaluuya, and I know there was a whole for Judas and the Black Messiah, which I know there's a whole kind of confusion. Yes, I'm making up a word, confusion, of how can you have two supporting roles and like both of the characters' names are in that. I mean, one is the Black Messiah, the other one is Judas, and that would be Lakeith Stanfield, but how, and something they've decided. Now I'm going with that one, and if it were going to be a runner-up, I would predict Paul Raci, although they don't do runner-up awards. But if Daniel didn't win it, Paul would. That's my opinion, my guess, but I'm going with Daniel. Actress in a leading role, I've gone with Frances McDormand from Nomadland. Now, I'm only going with that based on the fact that apparently Nomadland has been doing quite some sweeping in this past couple awards month or whatever. So I'm just going to go with that. If, I was going with someone I wanted to win, I guess maybe it'd be Viola Davis, but I believe she's won already. Not that she can't win again. I mean, I'm all for multiple, awards for people, but and that, for that matter, I believe Frances McDormand has won previously. At least once. So I don't know. But the fact that so many people are talking about her role in this movie, that's why I'm going with that one. And she's won so many times, and I think they probably do not a clean sweep of the Oscars this year, but at least enough of them. And you'll see, at least in my predictions anyway. Actress in a supporting role. The only actress that has come up repeatedly in this category is, hopefully I'm going to pronounce her name correctly, Yo Jung-yoon in Minari. Now, I have not seen this film either, although one day I will, soon enough. Same thing with Nomadland and a couple others, but I just haven't quite had the time or the opportunity to see them as I have in previous years. So that is my prediction. I don't really have any other secondary choices, not really. But we're going to move on. Animated feature film. This one for me, it was a toss-up. But I'm going to go with Soul. I really kind of hope and want Soul to take this one. However, I feel if it wouldn't be this one, it would be Wolfwalkers. And again, I have not seen that one. Not yet. I think I have access to see it. I just have not yet seen it. So that's Soul is my pick for that one. Cinematography. I did a whole lot of researching, and I think Nomadland will probably take that one. I don't really have... I'm just going to go with that. Costume design, I will go with Emma. The only reason why is because usually with these costume design films, or not films, nominees, usually the film that is like the oldest or the most, let's say, I almost want to say regal, but like anything that takes place in a Victorian time and just, I almost want to say Shakespearean, but not even that. But just if there's a whole lot that goes into the costume, and I don't mean that in any offense to any of the other time periods, but if it's a really serious period piece, then that really seems like to take it. And not say that any of these aren't, because they all kind of take place in different decades and centuries for that matter. But Emma always kind of screams out because every time I see, what's her face? I can never remember her name. Poor thing. But she's always in some kind of Victorian dress. And I'm like, oh, yep, that one's going to win. And that's probably all they're going to win. And it's too bad. But not too bad. It's good for them. Good for the costume designers who's ever... why can't I remember that poor actress's name? She's not poor. But we're going to move on. I'm going to sit here and try to think of this actress's name, and it's not going to come to me. Directing. We're just going to go with Chloe Zhao, which is directing Nomadland yet again. So that's number 2 that I'm giving it. Are there any other directors on here that I felt would... Nope, going to move on. Documentary. I have not seen any of these documentaries. And this one kind of took me a little while to research each and every one of them. And I'm going to go with My Octopus Teacher. Each of them I feel has a claim to, not claim to win, but the chances, sometimes based on notoriety or how even with the small circles I used to travel in, who I hear talking about or any kind of mention, Crib Camp, for example, I was only familiar with because of the Obamas producing it. Time, as a documentary film, had come up a couple times based on some of the film podcasts that I listen to. But My Octopus Teacher has seemed to be winning the most awards. So I'm like, that could be the one. And actually, it's the one that I've heard about in just other circles that not necessarily related to film. So that's why I kind of went with that one. And also, I looked at each of each of them is about. And I don't know. It seems like to be one of the more interesting of them all. I'm not saying any of them are not interesting. But I'm like, okay, I'll watch a movie about octopusses versus an undercover agent at a senior citizen thing. I don't know. Moving on. Documentary short subject. That was hard to say. I did not research this one. I will admit the only one that I actually saw that looked familiar to me was a love song for Latasha, and that has to deal with the black woman who was shot and killed a little bit prior to the 1992 LA riots beginning. And I have not seen it, but I am interested in seeing it, and I may go back and try to check out the other ones if I can. I always have a hard time trying to find the short documentaries, but I know they exist. I know they're out there somewhere. But I think this one's on Netflix. Film editing. I gave that to Sound of Metal because during my research, that's the one that kept coming up and winning. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and just give it to you guys. And again, I've not seen this film. In fact, the only one in this category that I've seen is The Trial of the Chicago 7. But, even the editing in that was pretty good. But whatever. We're going to go with the Sound of Metal. International feature film, which used to be called the foreign film, and I'm glad that they changed it because sometimes, just because it's, not from around here doesn't... Well, the foreign language film, I think, is what they usually used to call it. But, we've even got a foreign language film last year that won, and it was, for Best Picture. So I don't know if I don't remember much about last year. Nobody remembers how, the last years for other things go unless you look it up and research. Anyway, I gave that one to Another Round, coming from Denmark. I looked at the others, and I don't know. I feel like Another Round is the one to beat. Makeup and hairstyling, that goes to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I did look at quite a few of all the nominees. And, even just looking on their Wikipedia page, they consistently keep winning for makeup and hairstyling. So, points to them. I mean, they all look great. And yeah, I'm going to go with that one. For a musical score, this is sadly the only place that the Five Bloods have shown up in the nominations this year, but unfortunately I will not be predicting they will win anything, or rather this one thing. Instead, I will yet again give it over to Soul for best score, and for best song, I'm going to give that to One Night in Miami, which sadly should be nominated for more things, but here we are. So One Night in Miami gets best song with the song Speak Now by Leslie Odom Jr. So shout out to him. Hopefully he gets that award. We're going to skip Best Picture because that comes up next on the website, but we're going to go to Production Design. And let's see what we have here. Mank is what I chose out of all of them, although I forgot that Tenet was here as well. But Mank repeatedly, I believe, came up for Production Design. It's not a movie I've seen. I kind of want to, but at the same time I don't. It's like, I mean, because I hear things about it, but at the same time, I'm like, meh. And then, of course, we have Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is also nominated, but I'm also like, I did like the design, even though it is based on a play and just the way everything's set up. But again, I can't be, I'm judging or I'm predicting based on the research, based on who has won in the past, or this past year, or the past festivals that they've been, or awards, or whatever. Mank is the one that has been winning, so that's why I went with Mank. Now, we're going with short animated film. I have seen 2 of these, and I would like to see if I can find the other 3. But not right now. But in the meantime, I tried not to be too biased in which ones that I like, and I tried to go again, follow the research, which ones, had been winning more, and or at least got more attention. And I feel like Burrow would be the one that would, kind of win. Because again, Disney, or related to Disney, it's on Disney Plus. That's kind of where I'm going with that. The other one is If Anything Happens, I Love You. That one is on Netflix. I did watch that one. It may have brought a tear to my eye. I do not remember, but I do know it was emotional. And I don't know. I really do feel it's going to go to Burrow. Again, I haven't seen the other 3, so I don't know based on just watching it. And I know that's how they should be voting. I'm just going, again, based on what I've seen so far on the, which ones have won anything. Short film live action. I've only seen one of these as recent as just a couple days ago. That was Two Distant Strangers. However, I did not see them winning anything except for like maybe one film festival. And the one that seems to be, for me, it's going to be between these 2 films. And that's going to be Feeling Through and The Present. And I gave it to The Present. And in fact, I would like to go find the film The Present. Don't want to find The Present, but I want to find the film The Present so I can watch that because that looks interesting based on the plot. And I would like to check that out. Again, I would like to check out all of these, especially the short films, because they're a little easier to digest. I have time to chomp into them, where other whole movies, sometimes I have to watch in parts because of life. So what have you. Sound, I feel that is, first of all, I guess kudos perhaps to them combining sound editing and sound mixing, even though I know that the 2 of them are distinct and separate. Of course, I know that, but like it's for, I guess maybe for the sake of awards or whatever, they decided to combine them this year. And it's almost kind of funny, and well, not in a haha sense, but just kind of interesting how the top pick, or at least my pick, has it right in the title, so you should kind of just go for it. And then again, if you know what the movie's about, and again, I have not seen it yet, but I am very well intending to, but Sound of Metal is who I'm predicting to win this film. I've heard great things about the way the sound is used in this film, and that gives me even more the reason why I want to watch it, other than the fact that it's being a good film from what I'm told. I have not, again, watched the others except for Soul I've seen. I don't have a strong interest in seeing News of the World. And like I've already been talking about Mank a little bit. And then this other one, Greyhound, I'm not familiar with at all. So we're going to move on to visual effects, which I've only seen 2 of these 5 films again. And I am going to give this one to Tenet. I think it's the only one. It's just been nominated twice, this one. And I think graphic production? No. production design. There you go. And I think this one. I kind of want it to win the visual effects because it's great visually, really interesting to watch. The only other one that it could be possibly a contender is maybe the one and only Ivan. Out of the other three, like I've heard of them, I've seen Mulan, but I would like Tenet to win it. I'll say that. Will it win? I hope so, because I think that's the only one that I've actually seen other on the wiki page, other festivals and awards that it actually won for that category for visual effects. So let's see. Adapted screenplay, or both of these categories say writing, but then they haven't, not quotation marks, parentheses. I gave that one again to Nomadland. And why did I do that? Okay, yeah, again, based on what I've seen in the other, just all what it's already won so far. So I'm just assuming a lot of those people are all in the same camps and they're all kind of going to vote for the same film in each, award thing. I'm not saying all the people are the same. It's just, I guess I'm just going with the trend. And like I said, it's been sweeping. And if that doesn't win, then it would be great to see One Night in Miami take that one. But we'll see what happens. As for writing an original screenplay, this one I felt was a toss-up because all of them are supposedly, I don't want to say supposedly, I've only seen, again, 2 of these, The Trial of Chicago 7 and Judas and the Black Messiah. However, I decided to give this one to Promising Young Woman, one of the films I've heard the most about this past year. And, I've heard about all of them in great detail. Like, they all are, like, I think except for Judas and the Black Messiah, I think they're all Best Picture nominees, I believe. But I gave it to that one because I feel that one needs some love, and that's the one, again, that I think I've seen winning consistently for the category that it's in. All the other ones, not so much. So, Promising Young Woman for original screenplay. As for the Best Picture, my prediction, out of 8 of these? Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Judas and the Black Messiah is listed. So it's possible, hey, it could win. But I am going to go ahead and guess Nomadland. Not thrilled about it, only because I haven't seen it, so I can't be that excited about it. Like, I've read the synopsis, and I'm like, meh. But I'm judging a book by its cover. I apologize. But I feel, as of right now, a week from whenever, that it's going to win. Would I like to see Judas and the Black Messiah win? Sure, absolutely. Would I be happy if there was another surprise upset from a film, I don't know, like Minari or trying to think of, see another one here. Sound of Metal? Sure, why not? Or even Promising Young Woman? Sure, why not? That's pretty much it, I think. Kind of gone through all of them. So I'll try to put this in some kind of form where you can kind of check to see if I win or what, or I'll do a follow-up on the next podcast episode to say, hey, I was wrong, or hey, I got these right, and we'll see what happens. And by the way, I never really kind of keep up year to year how I'm doing. One of these days, maybe I'll start this year. We'll see. But these are my predictions. I don't know if I will be watching live or being able to live tweet, because most of the time not most of the time. Most of the time I watch it live. It's a whole party and everything. But this year I have since cut the cord, and I have not quite looked into how I can watch it live by not, using any kind of cable or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's streaming somewhere, so I'll probably find it and watch along. And we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, that is my Oscar predictions for 2021. And we'll see how I do. And, of course, you could follow me at Indu when I hopefully should be live tweeting. If not, I will probably just be keeping close tabs on whatever streams or whatever's trending. And, we'll see. We'll see, definitely. But that's it for now. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening. Tell your friends that you love them and all that good, happy stuff. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Indu podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indu network. Want more Indoob? Follow on Instagram and Twitter @Indoob and on Facebook @IndooPod. You can contact us and send Ask Indoob questions by emailing indoopod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the TeePublic Store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indoob Network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit Indoob.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production.